Yeah, we're live. I don't know why. Let's do this. Come on in. It's Friday night. I call this Friday Night Zen Live because why not? It has nothing to do with Zen. I don't know. I actually don't know anything about Zen. I read a book or two. It's just another story. But this is what's happening. So let's share it. Honestly, the only reason I'm doing these videos now, like so much has kind of fallen away. It's like I do them for me. Like I like these conversations because the words that come out of my mouth in response to whatever you guys are commenting, I don't know where they come from, and they come right back and recondition this in some way. It's inexplicable, difficult to talk about, but it's all for me. So hopefully you benefit too, but if not, that's okay. Now I got to find your comments here, and this is where it gets ugly because I got an iPad and of course it doesn't do what I need it to do. So I'll pull up well, you know what? Maybe I can just pull them up here. Yeah, that'll do it. All right. So Erica and Satinagra and Sylvia, all kinds of people. Happy Friday. At this point, we are some sort of therapy for you, says Erica Black. Well, this is the thing. It's therapy. It's therapy, but not for me. This is what's very strange. So, okay, this is where I am right now. There's this character, Zubin, this with a story and a center and a sense of me and a sense of self. And that appears and alternates with complete nothing, empty, radiant, just thisness. And sometimes they overlap. And it's a little disconcerting because the remnants of this residual belief in a self, like in a me, which doesn't exist, you can't find it, but there's a root belief that it's there. That is still, it hasn't fully gone. And so it's this very awkward, like adolescent phase of whatever, where part of the time you're just contracted into self and it feels really uncomfortable. Like everything's happening to me and they're still seeking and a desire to like end the discomfort, like a restlessness. And then that's like coexistent and alternating with, I know it doesn't make any sense, complete, absolute perfection, equanimity, nobody home, just the home, just the dance of the phenomena. Even that's like just a wonky way to say it. I really, I don't know. I'm going to rely on you guys talking to see what comes up in terms of expression, because this can't be put into words, but the words come from a place that you might, where you are, feel or resonate with as a yes, like a, yeah, that's right. Or it may not, and that's fine too. I don't give two shits. It's funny, like, I'm not doing this to help other people. I'm not doing this even to help me. I'm doing this because there's literally no choice. Like it arises and I'm like, I'm going to do this. And when I reflect on it, when there's reflection, it's like, yeah, there's some benefit, maybe for me, for sure. I don't know about you guys. And also, like, Zubin finds it fun. The character, the conditioning, the sort of momentum of this, like the personality, that's all still there. It's just, it's seen as what it is. It loves this shit. Like, this is like social hour for it, because otherwise it doesn't hang out with a lot of people. It's really kind of pulled back from all that because there's just not an interest. Let's see. Already Saturday for Soygyat. You in Australia? Cross the international date line. How many of you guys have seen Physical Asia on Netflix? No spoilers. It is crazy good. The way they edit it. It's like, this is all kind of a belief, delusion, dream, but it's actually appearing. So the appearance is real. Then you put TV, like well done, well edited, well storied TV into it, and it's like a dream within a dream, a matrix within a matrix. It's really fascinating and incredibly entertaining for no one. Do you still suffer? Says Susan. So suffering has this flavor now. Suffering comes up when it's almost always like this. In fact, it's always like this. When there's suffering, there's an I that it's happening to, that something's happening to. And for me, for Zubin, that often comes up as a feeling of unworthiness. So that's what's left, is this core like operating system that's running, like Mac OS or, Windows 95, because I'm that old. The Windows 95 DOS prompt is still running, and the software that it's running says you're a separate person who will never be good enough, will never be enough, will never be smart enough, a good enough YouTuber, whatever the fuck that is, awake enough, whatever the fuck that is. Because here's a secret, guys. It's not a secret. It's the most obvious thing. Who is it that wakes up? And what are you waking up from? It seems to me that all that happens is a mistaken belief, a delusion. And I don't even know what a belief is made of. Maybe it's thought, maybe it's energy, maybe it's sensation. I don't know. But it goes, it relaxes. And what is left is just the truth. So what isn't true, this delusion that you're a separate self that is unworthy, relaxes. And then there's just all of life. And there's nobody that it's happening to. So when suffering happens, I got to put that on mute because my daughter's like, what's for dinner? I'm like, that's the perennial question, isn't it? What will my answer do to actually change the outcome? Nothing. Maybe she's just curious. Usually it's like, so she can complain about it. Chicken. I don't want chicken. It's like before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, make fucking dinner for your kids and have them complain about it. So the suffering seems to happen when something occurs and it triggers that software to activate. And when it activates, the conditioning shows up as a sense that there's a Zubin here that's me, that something is happening to me and I'm not good enough. So the suffering comes from the sense that you're not good enough, and then the seeking to try to either distance from that in some way, so kind of distract, or you wallow in it, in which case you're just miserable, or you counterphobically like project the opposite. So it's like, oh, I'll show them. I better go do a thing to show X, Y, and Z that I'm worthy or I'm good enough. And most often it's you're showing you. You're showing the conditioning. See, you can make it better by just doing the thing. Now so that's the suffering that still arises. It relates to the root of unworthiness. And I've done a lot of looking at this. So the way you see this is you just look. What's going on in the body? What's happening? Okay, what just triggered me? Oh, it's this. What's the root of it? Oh, ultimately, as you dig down, you realize, for me, it's different for everyone maybe, but for me, I can't say anything about anyone else. For me, it's, bro, you've never been good enough. Everybody else is good. Everybody else is fine. You're not. Like, that's what it feels like. And the fundamental belief there is that you're a being apart from life that isn't good enough to be alive, isn't good enough for life itself, isn't good enough for society, the matrix, whatever this delusion is. So when that's operating, there's suffering. And when the suffering happens, it often triggers a looking naturally now, where there's a looking in and going, oh yeah, there's unworthiness. Oh yeah, there's meing, the sense of like the self coming in and owning experience as the one who can suffer, the one who isn't good enough. And then there's this remarkable relaxation, like a seeing through in that moment that, oh, well, let's look then. So where is this unworthiness? Can you actually find the one in here that could be worthy or unworthy? So it's not a question of like this fucking therapy, man. Some therapy is just like, no, let's address the roots of your unworthiness by showing you, reframe this, which is fine. By the way, I don't mean to, it's just, look, I can't fucking lie anymore. Like when something seems ridiculous and absurd to me, and most things do now that humans do, including me, I just have to say it. So bear with me. I'm not trying to be mean about therapy. I'm not trying to say don't do therapy. I've done therapy. They'll say, oh, let's reframe that. No, there's all these things about you that are worthy. You are good enough. You are enough. You are loved. You are whole. You are worthy of all these things. Look at all the things you've done, or just even forget about anything you've done. You're innately worthy. Absolute fucking horse shit. You know what that does? It sets up and makes real the duality between worthiness and unworthiness. Because here's the truth. Here's how you see through that. And by the way, you don't do it, because the you that would see through it is seen through in the process of this. There is no unworthiness and there is no worthiness. Because there's no self, there's no you that could be worthy or unworthy. So what the fuck are we talking about? That's what's seen through. There's nothing at the core of you. There's no being there. There's no soul. There's no fucking worthy or unworthy. There is absolutely nothing but thising always. And it's always been like that. So where the hell is worthiness and unworthiness coming up? It's coming up from that energetic belief, the conditioning, the human appearance. It's nothing. It's all of this showing up as belief in self and unworthiness. That's all it is. So the minute you see that, you realize it's a belief and a delusion. It's not true. The only thing that's true is the appearance of it. Yeah, it appears as truth, but it's not, because it's like a mirage, like everything. And it's seen right through, and through that, the entire self structure dissolves, and there's just this. And this isn't in time. It has nothing to do with space. It has nothing to do with birth and death. It has everything to do with just exactly what the fuck it is, which is to the mind, to the sense of self, a total mystery. To this, it doesn't give a shit, because it's exactly what it is. And it's always been. And that, just that, is freedom for no one, because you're not there. So you see, this way of speaking, it doesn't sell books. It doesn't sell clicks. You're not going to like this video. You're going to hit the thumbs down. The algorithm's not going to feed it to you. And I couldn't give two shits. Zubin might have. But like, even Zubin is like, he's starting to see that it doesn't matter at all. Doesn't matter, because this is not for anyone. This is pretty radically free. Like, I got all this equipment. I got the studio. I got all this shit just to go live for no one. There's nobody here. There's nothing happening. It's crazy. It's a miracle, actually, that even the delusion can exist. Like, that's how compelling this whole thing is. Like, wow. It's like watching Physical 100 Asia. Like, you just are sucked in. You're like, yeah, Indonesia, Thailand, go Thailand. And it's all just fucking made up. It's all a story made up by some producers and an editor. Soygat says, are you vegan? There's been a recent realization that because of me consuming animal products, I cause suffering to animals, so I have become vegan. That's beautiful. Become vegan. If you don't want to cause suffering to animals, you can become vegan. I'm not. I don't see any relation of veganism to non-duality, to anything, to any of this. It is entirely whatever this appearance decides. This appearance decides it doesn't like seeing animals suffer. And by the way, this does not. It does not. It does not like seeing animals suffer. It also happens to like meat. It eats a lot less of it these days. It eats a lot more plant stuff, but it likes meat, and it's not about to go vegan because it doesn't like it. It gives it gas. It doesn't like it. So yeah, I think it's beautiful that you make that decision. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a beautiful story. We're living in storyland. It's just like people are like, Trump, no Trump. Give me a fucking break. There is no Trump. And then they'll say, well, you haven't been deported. No, I haven't. So I don't give a fuck. And the truth is, neither should you, honestly, about any of this, because it's all a story. It's all a story. The thing is, I'm saying should and all that. The truth is, you will. You will give a fuck because that's how the conditioning is. And we're all playing out our conditioning. The character of Zubin kind of does give a fuck about certain things, but it's seen through very quickly. Like a fuck is given and then the fuck is released. It's like fuck given, fuck released, fuck given, fuck released, over and over and over. And it used to be fuck was given and then ruminated on and then grasped at and then sought after and then all for the me that isn't to be found. It's the cosmic joke. Poof, there's nothing here at the center of it. You could say it's all made of, love, but even that's just a story. You can experience that, but that's a story too. So we're living in a story. Great. Embrace it. Live the story you want. Make the meaning you want. The existentialists were fucking right. You make the meaning. There's no inherent meaning. There's no purpose. There's no direction. Nothing's actually happening because nothing's moving. This is stillness vibrating as this mystery. Mark Gregory says, wish I could stick around with family in town. Okay. These people are still texting. Oh yeah, that's the families now texting each other. Let's see. Hey, Risa. Hey, George. Grandparent George. Sylvia says, don't you think unworthiness is all our suffering? It is for me. Well, Sylvia, between you, me, and the wall, for me, it's exactly that. Okay, let me, my supporters have already heard this story. I'm going to not include some of the parts. Supporters meaning the people who subscribe for the $5 a month, and I do live, we have live conversations, we do Zoom meetings, that kind of thing. Recently, I had an experience where I was feeling this unworthiness arise, and I was like, okay, so now at this stage of whatever this fucking thing is, Zubin cannot look away from this sort of thing. So when something like that arises, instead of making distance or trying to assuage it, numb it, ignore it, deny it, project away from it, all the patterns of behavior we've developed over our lives to avoid this core sense, whatever it is for you. For me, it was clear it was this unworthiness. And so I started feeling into it directly and realizing everything that's ever happened in my life that's caused suffering has been related to a core sense of a self that is unworthy. Always. I couldn't find an exception. Not good enough. Unworthiness simply, for me, it means not enough, not capable, not good enough, not whole, always trying to get better and show that they're better, but ultimately knowing it will never work. That's it. And it's a little different than shame. Shame is like, no, I'm bad. I'm evil. Like something is twisted in me. Like I'm a terrible person. Like that kind of thing. Shame arises for sure, but it's not the core thing for me. For some it is. For me, I think it's unworthiness. Like you will never be okay. You'll never be enough. And that goes, I don't know what the origin was. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. You can notice it, that's fine. But it's not like you're going to cure that by noticing the origin. Maybe you will. But for me, it was more just noticing that it's there, shining the light of attention on that. And that was hidden. That was a hidden operating system. So then I go back in my history. I go, okay, why did I become a doctor? To prove that I was fucking smart. To make a living so that I would feel safe, because I always felt like I wouldn't be able to make a living because I wasn't smart enough, capable enough, normal enough, couldn't fit into American society as the child of immigrants, funny name, short, fucking weird, like always have been weird. So that conditioning is like drives everything I've done. Relationships, same thing. Like when women were interested in me, that was the only type of person that I could safely be with, because if I were interested in someone, I knew I would be rejected. Like I just knew it because of the unworthiness. Like initially. Now, what's interesting is with my wife, we were both interested in each other and it just so worked out. But I've been in many relationships where it was like, oh, they're interested in me. Okay, they can tolerate this brokenness, so I should be with them. And then these monogamous relationships. And so looking at relationships, looking at behavior. So why do I make videos for so many years? Oh, because you're seeking the approval of others to make you feel like you don't have to look at the fact that you know you're not good enough. So it's beyond imposter syndrome. It's a core operating system of unworthiness. Imposter syndrome is a little funny because it's like, oh, they're going to figure out that I don't know what I'm doing because this is a really hard profession and I really don't know what I'm doing. Like, honestly. But unworthiness is like, no, I'm incapable. Everybody else is capable, but I'm totally incapable of doing this because there's just something wrong with me. So I'm going to keep chasing a way to make myself not feel this. So, because it's very uncomfortable to feel unworthy, that you feel it in the body. So this is what I noticed is like when that software activates, there's a contraction in the body. There's a feeling of, and there's a feeling of urgency to do something. So then the behavior happens, whether and it could be substances, it could be addiction. For me, it was self-soothing with food and then feeling unworthy of ever being in shape because I'm always eating food to self-soothe. It's a total paradox, right? The humans are so fucking fucked up. It's crazy that we are able at any point in our lives to even see any of this, even at the tip of the iceberg level. So the unworthiness piece, and it may be a very common thing, I think. For me, it's the driver of all suffering. Pretty much. Yeah, that's what I think. Let's take a look here. Hey, Mike, it's always been. Love that. Yeah, this has always been. That's the thing is what the realization shows you is there is no time. Time is a story. It's a thought construction. And so this dance of aliveness this is it. It's always this. It's always been this. So all your memories and everything, they're just phantoms of this. This is always, it's all that's ever going on. And it's not even going on. It's like just like this eternally, not in time. So you can't say anything's happening because nothing's moving through time. Time is another one of these tendrils that appears as a radically ephemeral, impermanent phenomena. That's it. It's like a thought, belief, energetic strand of nothing showing up. It's just what it is. It's just the appearance. And so is fucking unworthiness. So then you turn in and you look, where is this unworthiness? What is it? A thing that I can find? Can I look for it? Does it even make sense? What is here that could be unworthy? This is a story I've already seen through. There's no homunculus in here pulling the strings. There isn't that. First of all, the narrative self, the sense of the story died whatever, when there was awakening from the dream of the story. But at this point, there's no awakening because there's not, it's like something ends. The belief in a separate self that's unworthy ends. And then what is seen is what's left, which is truth. This. And you can't talk about it, but here I am moving my mouth because I'm speaking from it, if that makes any sense. And it's not me doing it. The speaking is it. It is it. It is the lifing. And those who resonate with this will resonate with it. Those who don't. And there's no explanation, no reason, no validation or invalidation from that. Kathy says, when you appreciate the brokenness of each other, you find your person. Oh yeah, in a partner? Yeah, I don't even know. I think that partnership is a mystery. It's energetic to me. It's just like, yep, that clicks. There's a kind of radical acceptance and a rejection too. Like there's parts that you're just like, I don't like that. And that's just preferences. Those arise. Yeah. We hold ourselves to the standard with a partner that we're not supposed to judge and this and that. But no, but judgment arises, another appearance. You don't control any of this. Yeah. Human relationships are a fucking mystery. They're a mystery, right, Risa? You and I, we're so funny. We're like, Me and Risa love, well, I'll speak for me. I love Risa, and Risa and I have like been through, the drama of doing this thing together, and then me saying I need to let it go, and then the fucking letting go of that. And it was such, oh my God, it's so painful. And yet here we are. Like, I think we're pretty good buddies. And Risa's one of the few people my wife actually likes. My wife is not a social person, except at work. She has to do it. But like when Risa came, she was like, yeah, she's like hanging out with us the whole evening. I was like, damn, who is this woman? It's amazing. It's a testament to Risa, also the mystery of human relationship. Yeah, DNT says attachment to desired outcomes has created suffering here recently. Yeah, beautiful. So what is it that is, this is, okay. This is my feeling about this right now in this moment. Even the attachment to desired outcomes can only happen if there's a belief, energetically, mysteriously, in a sense of a separate self that could have attachment, that could want this thing, that could want this outcome for it. When that sense is seen through, attachments may spontaneously show up like a grasping tendency or an impulse, but they just fall and fall and fall, because where are they going to stick? It's like I'm making a video now live on Friday night, right? Zubin as a self would see this as, okay, so this is something that I have to do for other people so that I can also get something out of it, so that I can get views or ad revenue or validation or attention or love or feel a little less broken, a little more worthy, distraction, all those things. So Zubin, as a sense of a separate self, would behave that way, and it would color everything that I express. So when Zubin is given a lollipop and he can sit there and be observed in the corner, and he's going to Zubin, so sometimes he'll grasp and do things and fall into conditioned patterns and have these things arise, impulses and emotions and reactivity, and that can happen. But he's allowed to sit in the corner and have a lollipop because he's told it's okay, this is all a dream, don't worry about it. Just, you can feel how you feel and it's okay, but let me go ahead and handle it. And the me that's handling it is what's always been handling it, which is life. It's not personal. It never was. The personal is life showing up as the personal. It's the radically impermanent, impersonal showing up as the story of a person. And so then what's the flavor of the video? It's a little different. So it's not something that's going to please a lot of people. It's not something that is even going to please Zubin, but it's exactly what it is. It's allowed to be exactly what it is. So all this fucking fancy equipment and shit and iPad and fucking thing, none of it matters. It's just doing the thing. It's all doing the thing for no one. Risa says, also learned so much here. Couldn't have learned any other way, for which I will forever be grateful. Risa, you and I were meant to be, girl. Not in that way, but in the way that it was. Sounds vaguely Me Too-ish when I put it that way. Oh, you're in LA, Diana. Good to see you. Not in Lisbon for once. Mike says, I wonder if unworthiness is based on not getting what you wanted as a small child and assigning the why to unworthiness. Who knows, right? It could be any number of things. That's a reasonable theory. In my feeling, it doesn't matter because it's all a story. So the why of it may be helpful to help you see that it was just a story. So maybe it's helpful in that way. In that case, therapy, internal family system therapy, those can be helpful. But this therapy that's like, no, let's really reframe your unworthiness as worthiness, or see that, it was just, it's just not true. The unworthiness is just not true. No, fucking, it is true. From the standpoint of the me, it's absolutely true. How can you ever be enough? How can a separate self moving through space and time, conditioned by parents and society to never be enough, ever be enough? How can a movement of energy that is designed to seek the next thing evolutionarily, it's designed to do that, how can it ever be enough when its prime directive is find more, find safety, find success, find love, find peace, find awakening, find liberation? How can it ever be enough? It never will be. So if anyone says, don't worry, you're not unworthy, that's not true, tell them to fuck themselves. The primary human operating system is by its own fucking actions entirely unworthy. And by being entirely unworthy, it creates something called worthiness, because that's the duality, that's the opposite. They do not exist in a vacuum. And so then you're chasing worthiness, you're avoiding unworthiness. You feel worthy for a minute and it feels like the best thing. And then in the crash from that, it's no different than any drug or dopamine. Welcome, Mina, to our supporter group. Yeah, it's like that. Hey, Tom, this is it, period. There's only one thing, period. It's the law of one. Yeah, Tom, I'll even say there isn't even one thing. Right? Like, I know why you're speaking that way, but it's like, even the word one doesn't make sense. This is it. That's a good way to say it. This is it. This is it. This. You don't even have to say now. You don't have to say here, because now and here imply space and time exist, and they don't. Not as real things. They exist as appearance. So in the appearance, in the dream appearance delusion, you could say, yeah, here, be here now. Like, be conscious, here, now. That's all fucking bullshit, because there's no here, there's no now, there's no consciousness. This is it. This is it. Let all that shit go. Stop mentally. Okay, now I'm just going to tell you what I'm telling myself, that I told myself. All right? You can do whatever the fuck you want. Stop fucking thinking about consciousness. Stop chasing oneness. I'm not talking to you, Tom, by the way. I'm speaking in there. Stop fucking trying to figure out how this works. Stop coming up with scientific explanations for why this is. Stop thinking about any of that stuff. Nothing you can think of, nothing in concept has any reality beyond its appearance. None of it. So what is reality? You can't even say there is a reality for the mind. It'll never find it. So what is real? Anything that isn't false. So what's false? Everything the mind creates. So what's left? This. This is it. Strip away everything that's false and see it for what it is. And what's left? So what is the primary, core, prime directive falseness? That you are. You are. That you're a self that is. That you are conscious of. Simply not true. Look and you'll see. Don't believe me. Belief is another fucking delusive appearance. It's not true. No belief is true. Even the belief that what I'm saying is true, it's not true. That's not true. What's true? Silence is the only way to express it. Steve Jensen, thank you for explaining all this. It seems nutso, but at the core, I know it's true. So yes, actually, Steve, you nailed it here, I think. The self and the mind will say and feel that this is nuts, that what he's saying is word salad. And yet the truth, what's left when all that is seen through, knows it to be true. And that's why it goes, yeah. That's why it's watching right now. That's why you're watching this, most likely, unless you're just here as a masochist. Fuck this window. I hate Mac OS, what they've done to that shit. See? So Zubin's conditioning comes up instantly. It expresses whatever the conditioning wants to express, and then it's gone. That's it. So people are like, oh, when you wake up or you're liberated, you don't have those things happen. Who sold you that fucking bill of service? A fucking delusion did. Maya, the great illusion. told you that there's some spiritual perfection where you'll be free of all that shit and it'll never arise, good luck with that. Talk to anyone who's fucking had this dream stop, and they'll tell you character continues. In fact, it's just pure conditioning at this point. And it's almost like you're watching it, but you're not doing it. There's no you watching it. There's just the itting. Some crazy shit, bitches. Diana, so what about love? Yeah, what about love? What about love? Don't let it slip away. Yeah, so love. There's human love, which is total horseshit. It's a story. It's an appearance. Great. And then there's love, which is everything happening exactly as it is for no one. And that is pure, unadulterated, unconditional love, because it rejects nothing. Everything is included. There's nowhere you can leave it. It can't be abandoned. It wasn't born and it doesn't die. It's always been this. That is love, pure and simple. And all of this is a dance as that. That's one way to say it. I don't know. I don't know where that came from. Kathy says, I guess then meditating is turning off thought and just this. I don't know what meditating is anymore, Kathy. Because thought is this. Thought is this. You can't turn off thought. I mean, thoughts can slow down. They can even stop. And then it's just like what's left is there. But there can still be the core operating belief that you're separate. There can still be the striving for that, because that's not permanent. There's nobody walking around permanently without thoughts that I know of. Maybe there is. I don't know them. They certainly don't call themselves liberated. They may be institutionalized. I don't know what liberation is, honestly. I'm freedom from suffering, you could say, but it's liberation for no one, so there's no such thing, because nobody gets liberated. The liberation is seeing that there was never a person there. There was just this. It's fucking wild. Susan says, did the retreats and psychedelics help with this non-self insight? I have no idea. This is where, like, all of that seems in retrospect like it had to happen, and also it made no difference at all. So, you know, like recently I've talked to people who psychedelics are a big part of their sort of what they'll call their healing journey and so on. And it's like, that's a great story. That is a kind of awakening within the dream story, where we're doing these things and we seemingly improve this character. We're seemingly seeing through these delusions, and this is happening and that's happening. And maybe that actually happens. But from here, that seems radically wrong. Because there's no self to improve. There's no self to grow. Nothing grows, nothing moves. Maybe those things, this is my theory, and again, so it means nothing, that those things show up as an epiphenomenon of a body mind that was energetically inclined to have the belief in self drop eventually. And it looks causative because, oh, well, then that must have done that. You had this insight, that insight, this insight. And it can seem like that, except there's no time, there's no growth, there's no space, and there's no you. So how would that work? How can an imaginary self that has never existed meditate its way into no self, whatever that is? Like, it's a fucking paradox. And yet, most people who've had it happen had some form of inquiry, meditation, and I just think it's an epiphenomenon that was happening because you're not doing it. This thing is just playing out. So that's another thing. The seeking mind, the seeker that wants to have a plan, a doing, an attainment, it's always going to do that. So it's going to go meditation, inquiry, yoga, retreat, psychedelics. It's going to do that constantly. This is the end of that energy. So what you were seeking can only be seen by no one when the seeking stops. So another theory on this is that you do those things to exhaust the seeker. And believe me, my seeker was exhausted. The reason I did all those psychedelics last year was because it arose in the body. Like, it was like, yeah, I'm supposed to do psychedelics now. That's how it was. It wasn't like, oh, I think these things are going to do this, or I want to do that with it. And when I did them, all they did was show me conditioning, story, the body, what's encoded there energetically. And the biggest insight was one I'd already had, which is there's no you and there never was. And this is all nothing showing up as everything. There's no death and there's no birth. And that's all a story, and everything is exactly as it is, perfectly fine, nothing to worry about. And it's like, well, I kind of knew that, but the psychedelic just hammered it home by showing me what was already previously known. And so I don't know what it did. Makes a good story, though. Made a great video. A doctor does all the psychedelics in 3 days. Made a great video. It's a fun video if you want to watch it. I can't watch that shit back because it doesn't make sense to me anymore. I don't even know who that is. Like, I don't know who that is. Quest for the Best. That's a great handle. Says, I love Z-Dog, but I miss the guy championing for Health 3.0. And I don't think I'm smart enough to understand this new Z-Dog paradigm. It feels like Health 3.0 is intractable, and this is the result. Ooh. I love this comment. Okay, Quest, I really appreciate the way you left this comment. Okay, so old Zubin's character was based on trying to outseek the unworthiness. And it turns out our healthcare system is a great epiphenomenal expression of our own brokenness, our own unworthiness, all of us. We do things to people for money, and we expect to do it purely compassionately, and we expect to give up a lot of ourselves, and we expect to make a living doing that while doing the right thing always for the patient. So that is a recipe for moral injury, which means, no, that's not going to happen. There's going to be a dissonance between what you believe and what's actually happening. And that's healthcare 2.0. That's this healthcare system. It's like you go to work thinking I'm doing this, and you see everywhere you go that you're not, that it's the opposite, that you're actually harming people a lot of the time, that you're complicit in a medical industrial complex that is a sick care machine that generates incredible profits for administrative class and businesses, and while taking money out of the pockets of middle class, poor, and rich people, and bankrupting the government. So that doesn't feel good. So Zubin's unworthiness at that time was channeled through his own creativity, which is, okay, how can we solve this problem? And the way we solve it is Health 3.0. We focus on prevention. We pay for it with a flat capitated fee. We focus on nutrition, exercise, meditation, stress reduction, these social determinants of health, food deserts, those kind of things, which we did with the turntable health experiment. And you do all those things. And I went around the country evangelizing it, and it made me feel a mix of things. One, I felt like this could happen because people were motivated. But there was also the feeling that until everyone wakes up, it's not going to happen, meaning they see through their own fucking delusion. It's not going to happen because money is going to drive everything, and the social matrix will push it that way because it's a collective delusion. And the second thing I felt was, well, I can't do this. Like, I can't fix healthcare because I'm not even good enough to fix my fucking shoelaces. So I have to rely on others and form networks of people that I trust. And I did. And even then it was like, oh, it's not that it's intractable. It's that the whole paradigm is wrong. Like, you're going to seek the next thing, and that's fine. And the next thing might be a little better, but it'll have its own problems, and the next thing will happen. And so for me, for Zubin, I put that out in the world. I did that thing. I was passionate about it as much as a person could be, but there was a good degree of delusion there. A lot of it was based on hope, like at some point this will just happen, because I don't know how to really make it happen. I did my thing, but I don't know if that's scalable, and it got bought by Amazon. Amazon's going to fucking ruin it, and I don't know. And by the way, if you if you get any emails from Amazon about Amazon One Medical, That's Iora turntable, purchased by One Medical, purchased by Amazon. So that's the remnants of what our Health 3.0 model was. I don't know what it is now. And so for me, that part of my identity as the one who would do that died when the sense of self started to unravel. It was like, wait, why was I even doing that? Because I want to feel okay. And by having other people feel okay, I'll feel okay. And the truth is, no, hell is other people when you believe them to be separate from you. So it may be that Zubin goes and does those things, and that's part of his programming, and it's beautiful and it helps the world, or not. But right now, it's not. Right now, it's more a big fucking mystery. And so I totally understand that the vast majority of my audience that signed up for this thing is going to either think that I've lost my mind, or they're going to think, well, he's given up because it was impossible. And the truth is, I have no idea if it's impossible. I actually think anything's fucking possible in the dream. Magic is possible. It's just Zubin is done with that. And he's done with medicine too. He is. And imagine how hard that is to say as someone who spent his whole life training for that shit. Like, so you know something's up when that goes. So yeah, sorry about that, but also not sorry. There's nothing I can do. And it used to be like a comment like that would trigger me, because the me that's unworthy would want to defend and say, oh yeah, I never could make the Health 3.0 thing really work, and I gave up probably because I couldn't make it work, and maybe I should go back and do it to show people that I can do it. And nope. Can't. It's felt sometimes. It's felt like that, but it's seen through quickly. It's like, no, that's fucking so much more peace, contentment, serenity. And I get offers to speak all the time for a lot of money. And I turn them down. And the first few times I turned them down, it was like stabbing myself. It was like stabbing myself, because the self was like, no, it won't go quietly. And then it gets easier. And then you realize, why didn't I do that earlier? What the fuck was I doing? Like, that wasn't naturally what even Zubin wanted to do. He was doing it because he felt like he had to. Yeah, the part of One Medical, Quest for the Best, that is the turntable model is the flat fee. But see, the problem is they also bill insurance. And I think that breaks the model, because then you're back in a fee for service kind of doing things to people. Now, I don't know what One Medical is doing now. Yeah, because our model didn't do that. If we build insurance, it was for the flat fee to take care of the patient and do everything for them. An unlimited buffet of care, including yoga classes, meditation classes, psychological counseling, nutrition, lab, all that stuff. Not hospitalization, because we can't cover that in primary care. That's what their insurance is for, the wraparound catastrophic insurance. Yeah. Yeah, Tom, I think you're right about psychedelics. They allow you, whatever the fuck that is, to be able to say, oh yeah, this. Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate. You're pretty good at expressing this shit, Tom. Angel, I walked out of healthcare too, and now I want to take medicine back to nature and launch a frequency research model. Hey, whatever you're called to do, that's what you're going to do. The trick is, so, okay, I'll be honest with you guys. I've resisted making videos publicly for some time. And when I do it, it's kind of like, I can't help it. Like, I just start making them. And I talked to someone recently who's like a very, there's someone who was known and left YouTube and just lives by themselves. And the self like construct has been seen through totally. They need nothing. They want nothing. And I had a call with them and spent an hour just kind of feeling through, because it's a very lonely place to be, right? When it's flip-flopping like this. And they're not flip-flopping. They've been through it. And I was telling them, yeah, you know, and it's like, I feel like I shouldn't even be making videos because you can't really talk about this. And I don't really care whether other people wake up or not. It's nice when they do, but it's not something that because there's nobody that wakes up. Like it's a story. I don't get validation from it. I don't know why I'm doing it, but I feel compelled to do it, but I don't want to because it's wrong in some way. It feels wrong. Like I'm not supposed to do this because it's a kind of person thing to do. And and they were just like, shut the fuck up. Like Zubin wants to fucking express. That's Zubin's creativity. Let Zubin do what fucking Zubin does. The words will come out. They're going to come feed right back to you because they're coming from nowhere. They're going to feed back to nowhere. So if that's what's arising, just do it. Stop resisting what's arising. And that was a huge relief. I kind of knew that, but you can't really, because there's so much confusion and restlessness at this stage. And a lot of emotion and a lot of like crazy shit comes up and it's like, oh, fuck, you know? Kathy says, you sound very emotional, Z. I'm watching you on the big screen in surround. That was a moment right there. Thank you for your vulnerability. Oh, I don't remember what moment it was because I can't remember 5 seconds ago. But yeah, thanks. That's sweet. Big screen, huh? Too much resolution. Check this out. So I have this little, a little light here. I can, ooh, is that better? Watch this, watch this. Oh shit. I just made it crazy. Dude, let's leave that in torch mode for a second. Just fucking, oh, Z-Dog is awakened. Bald head and everything. Candied Cloud says, what if after awakening, I realize it doesn't fucking matter what I do? Like I don't care as long as I get some joy out of what I'm doing. LOL. Okay. That is a beautiful, okay. This is fucking brutal. Hold on. Let's bring it down as low as it will go. And that's off. And that's, where's on? There is no on because it fucked up. I'm going to leave it like that. Okay. This is such a common thing that comes up, like after awakening, I will X, Y, or Z. So that's normal. I did it. Everybody does it. Couple things. There's no awakening. Next, the seeing through the self means the self that was worried about that doesn't exist anymore as a reality. It can appear, but it's like it's seen through instantly. Or maybe not instantly, maybe very shortly. Sometimes not at all. It can be sticky, this flip-flopping period. I'm just speaking for me. Quote me. You have no idea. And it will not matter. It never did matter. This is a lovely story that the self tells to keep you asleep. I mean, everything I just said was wrong, by the way. It's another delusive belief that the seeking energy manifests. That's what it does to keep seeking. What if, but I want, but I need, but I don't want to lose that, or I do want to lose that. It's like, okay. You have no idea. Like it's just, there's no decisions made. Everything is just happening. So are you going to leave your family? Who knows? But the answer is, if your conditioning is such that you're loyal and you love them, that's probably not going to happen. Are you going to quit your job? Probably, but probably not. You have no idea because the conditioning, the character will continue. There just will be zero fucks given because it's not happening to anyone. It's just happening. It doesn't mean you suddenly become completely a fucking lunatic unless that's your conditioning, because you can't do anything except what's conditioned because you're not doing it. So at that point, if your conditioning is you're a psychopathic murderer and you've been keeping it at bay with fucking by white knuckling it, it might be that the loss of the sense of self unveils that conditioning and you go murder a bunch of people. But I don't think that's happened. Maybe. Who knows? Yeah, I don't know. Kathy says you literally lit up my room. Oh, that's right, because the surround sound. I mean, the big TV. Glad I could do that with my light. Ian with nothing. I like that. In some sense, you will just do what you selfishly desire after awakening, but your sensitivity to others' pain will follow the awakening as well. Okay, so this is a very important point. You'll do exactly what arises. And what arises is natural compassion for others. This is inexplicable. You could tell stories about it. Well, there's no separation, the this or that. I don't know if that's it. All I know is it becomes extremely hard to knowingly hurt another person. Doesn't mean it's impossible. But for me, and I have hurt other people, and sometimes I've done it knowingly because I know what I'm saying is there to make them feel something that isn't positive because I've been hurt, right? So sometimes that arises, and then that's seen through. It's like, ow, why am I hurting? Oh, because I did something to hurt. Like there was a hurting that occurred, and it's the same. There's not a separation. So their hurt is my hurt. There's no one's hurt. They're just hurt. It's kind of like that. Doesn't make any sense, but that's kind of how it is. Sylvia says, you're not making any sense anymore, and yet I know you are. There you go. That's the thing. Mind, no sense. This, all there is. You could say, and this is another thing, we always say this is a mystery, like this is a mystery. What we're saying is, this is a mystery from the mind's standpoint, from the standpoint of thought. It's a mystery. We don't know what this is. It can't be known from mind. But is this a mystery? So stop mind. Stop. No thinking, just this. Where's their mystery? It's just what it is. Perfectly, simply this. Where did it come from? That's mind stuff. What does it mean? That's mind stuff. What is it? That's mind stuff. It is what it is. Like Popeye said, I am what I am. It is what it is. That's it. No mystery. Very simple. That's the other thing. This is profoundly disappointing for the mind. It's profoundly disappointing. It's so disappointing it makes me laugh. It's like, if you knew what this was, you would be like, why am I wasting my time? Because the mind would not want it. It's fucking just this. This was, okay. So, all right. Okay, I'm just thinking about this. That's why I like, honestly, this is probably why I like doing these videos, because I have these things arise non-conceptually for me that help me, quote unquote me. When I did that 5-MeO DMT journey last year and I made the video about it, and it was like, oh, it's like the highest dose. I was like dying, like dissolving. The chest was dissolving. I was resisting. There was nausea. I was like, like I can't do it. So the highest dose, like she gave me like a dose she rarely gives anybody like this, because I was so much resistance. And when it just went pop. And I was like, oh, I just started laughing. I was like, this is it. This is it. All of that drama, all that story, all the childhood trauma, and all the pain in the body, and all the unworthiness, and all the sadness, and all that, poof, it's just this. Yeah, that happened as drama, as appearance. It's all perfectly okay. It's all just this. So simple. And I was like, is that it? And the guide was like, yep. And so that residual selfing that I said keeps flip-flopping, right? It was a couple days later, it was like, after all this was done, it was like, did I really get it? Did I really have the experience that you're supposed to have? Because it didn't really, I feel like nothing happened. It's pretty boring. Maybe something, fuck. So months go by, we find a different guide. She comes, I do it again, sequence of 3 doses. This time, first dose, just like feeling some shame and some stuff that had happened recently and kind of feeling it energetically come through the body, let go, release. Okay, that's a nice story. Some energy, sensations, 10 minutes. Okay. She was like, oh, you're very sensitive to this. I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty open. Can't not be at this point. It's like, you're just blown open. Second dose was just like, oh, everything is really perfect. I was just laughing the whole experience. So I said, well, give me the highest dose then. She's like, well, you've already had the message. I'm like, no, that can't be the message. Give me the highest fucking dose. Z-Dog knows what he needs. And so what happens? I take the highest dose. Totally dissolve. I see it happening. I is gone. There's just scintillating energy happening for no one. And then pop, open my eyes. It's just this. It's just this. I looked at the guide and I was like, so it is just this. Like, it didn't last long at all. It was just like, poof, yeah, just this. That's all. So fucking boring. And yet absolutely perfect. What else would it be? Anything else would be a story. Anything else would be an experience. Anything else would be another phenomena. But the truth with a capital T, is boring and perfect. It is absolutely the best, stupidest surprise. And the biggest surprise is there's no one there to savor it. There's no one there to go, I did it. There's no one there to go, oh, it's such a great thing, because it's not like that. It's the end of all that and the seeing of just this. Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah, Risa. Pamela says, Zubin, have you considered, when anyone calls me Zubin, I know I'm about to get it. Okay, something's going to happen here. Have you considered that you've been able to do this awakening journey and walk away from medicine because of your place of privilege? Also, you have support from your family. So why did all that happen? Why is there privilege and why did all that happen? There's no why. That was an epiphenomenon of Zubin's life. Why was there privilege? Because I fucking wasn't born into abject poverty, just reasonable poverty. My parents busted their ass. Then I went to medical school, busted my ass, worked 36-hour shifts, worked 10 years at Stanford taking call Q4. Married someone after dating serially and realizing nope, yes. Found a good fit by luck. And for all intents and purposes, that should have been it. That should have made the person happy. Should have made the person happy. By the way, what you're doing is, it's coming probably from something in you, but it is the attempt to trigger unworthiness in another, because there's unworthiness in general in the human consciousness. So like that, like, oh, you're privileged, so you had the time and the money and the space to do all the things that woke you up, even though I just said that's not how it works. It's like an epiphenomenon. And so then the tendency is to go, oh yeah, if I hadn't just been lucky, because I'm kind of not good enough. There's no, and you have to be good enough to awaken, because it's a thing that you have to be good enough for. When in fact, awakening is seeing through the entire construct of all of that: worthiness, unworthiness, privilege, non-privilege, conditions, seeing through conditions. So all that happens and should have made me totally at peace, totally happy. And did it? No. It was the gate. Everyone has a different gate. For some people, it's poverty, suffering, pain, trauma, gates them through the construct because they can't bear the construct. For me, I couldn't bear the construct because it never ended. It never brought happiness. It never brought satisfaction. No matter how safe I was, no matter how successful I was, it never brought happiness. So it felt like suffering all the time for the unworthy me, right? So yeah, I've thought about that for sure. I haven't thought about it. I felt into it. And it's funny. Yeah, it's just funny. Like, the mind wants to do these things. It wants to go, well, I can't wake up because I don't have the privilege. Or, and the truth is, no, you can't wake up because you don't wake up. It has nothing to do with privilege or not privilege, whether you drink caffeine or don't, whether you do psychedelics or not. Maybe there's some correlation as an epiphenomenon, like people who energetically are unstable enough to see through the belief stops. They don't see through it. The belief stops. That's going to happen. They show up in ways that show like meditation, privilege, God knows what, suffering, whatever it is, right? Ian says, awakening is like dissolving the distinction between two senses of this is it. The transcendent sense and the disappointing sense of this is it come together. Yeah, that's interesting. There is a sense of a transcendence, but the thing is, you're only transcending mind. So you're transcending an illusion. by showing truth. So in a real sense, it can feel transcendent from that view and then totally boring normal from the view of reality, whatever reality is, meaning when that belief relaxes, it's just this. Yeah, it's pretty unremarkable, but that's remarkable. Like, it's beautiful, right? I'm not doing it justice in how I'm speaking. From the mind standpoint, it's boring as fuck. From reality standpoint, it's just, there's no words. Very simple. No, I've never tried Wim Hof, but I have a good friend, Eric, who's in our supporter tribe, who's really into it, Yer. Hey, Pippananda. Seeking is just a storm front. Lightning, thunder, rain. The sun comes out, rainbow, things grow, and the cycle goes on. Beautifully put. Yeah. Seeking is, all of this is a weather pattern. All these delusive beliefs, they're just weather. A little tornado here, a little cold front here. You know, we have a partly cloudy with a 30% chance of unworthiness, with a shame system coming in from the north. Atmospheric river of tears will be arriving with some drama, dropping drama hail, and then it clears up. And it's like, well, those are all just appearances. Sky doesn't change. Sky never moved. Sky's always accommodated all of it. It's a nice analogy. Let's see. Man, I'm impressed you guys are hanging out on a Friday night. This is really enjoyable. I don't know why I do these things, but now I kind of do, because when I'm in the moment. Okay, so here's a truth. I don't know how you guys are. While I'm doing this video right now, like, if it felt wrong, I would stop the video. It feels great. It's like, wow, we're in this strange, like this, I don't know what this is. It's great. I don't know what it is. When the video ends, if I think about the video, or I try to watch the video, or anything like that, I will immediately have a disgust response. Like, what? Who the fuck? Why is that being said? It's so strange. It's almost like a negative feedback loop, keeps me from making videos, because I have to let time go until I feel like, oh, I've forgotten that I had a disgust response to the video. And I don't know why that response is there. It's so strange. Maybe it's residual unworthiness. Worth looking at. Avoid making dinner. Avoiding making dinner doesn't take much pull. There you go. I got to make, oh, shit. I have to go home and make dinner. Thanks, Risa. I have a chicken in the fridge here that I got from the supermarket, and I need to go home and cook it. It's going to take like an hour and something. So, and the kids are probably hungry. Shit. Oh, man. Okay, I'll go do that. But we'll finish up here. Ian says, I remember doing an exercise of investigating what I called ordinary, and I found time and time again that the experience of ordinariness is absolutely extraordinary. Bingo, yeah. My first retreat in Monterey, in between rounds of meditation, we would do walking outside, and I would just walk. Everyone was looking at trees and all this stuff, and I would walk right to this pile of junk in a parking lot, and I would stare at this pile of junk, and it was this radiant, indescribable, multidimensional, mysterious, just fucking shit show. And it was a pile of shit, like just a pile of junk, like construction debris. The ordinary. Yeah. Yeah, Kathy says your privilege is what gives you the time to share your journey. It's the causation versus correlation. Right. So the privilege doesn't cause it. It's like correlated with someone who would speak about it. Maybe. Who knows? Definitely, I feel quite privileged in life. Despite all the hard work and everything, it's like, man, I had a lot of lucky breaks, a lot of good people helping me. They didn't want chicken anyways. That's right, Gloria. My daughter was like, yeah, what's for dinner? Oh, God. Freddie says, hey, Z, how do you perceive music these days? Any differences? Oh, man. So music, I tend to get very analytical about music as someone who makes music and studied it in college and stuff. Now it's like it's different every time, but I just got the new little AirPod 3s and I've been listening to music on repeat. And it's all emotion. Like it just shows up as emotion. It shows up in the body. It shows up as feeling tone. And it didn't used to be like that. I mean, I would get emotional responses, but this is like next level. Yeah. It's like it's just these phenomena, and they trigger this emotional phenomena, and it's all just like one kind of phenomena. It's really, really cool. I really like it. I like singing in the car. I like singing karaoke for my supporters, like with my supporters, because it's just like fun, even though I sound like shit. It's kind of like that. Ian, thanks for your comments today, man. You're really really nailing it. Really helpful for the overall expression of this inexpressible bullshit. As are you all. Like, this is such a great group. All right, I'm gonna stop kissing your asses because it's starting to feel fake. But it's actually, I'm being honest. I really am. We'll have tea someday, Rose. All right, guys, I love you. Thanks for, I really do love you. Yeah, just for showing up. That's really sweet. I don't know who you are. I don't know that you exist, but there's just love. So thank you. All right, guys, until next time, peace and love and happiness. Fuck happiness. Contentment. Contentment's better than happiness. Peace.